What's going on, folks? So I am here with the Digitech Grunge. This is a pretty well-known, pretty famous pedal used by, well, a lot of people. So now here's the deal, guys. I'm not really like a hard gain kind of person. It's just not really my style of music, all right? And I have to say, some of the other like higher gain pedals that I've used in the past, I personally found them kind of unusable just because like enough is enough. There is a limit on how much gain you need. So I am curious to see how this reacts to that. I'm curious to see what I think of it. Here we go. Digitech Grunge. And for some reason, I always forget to tell you what guitar I'm using. For this demo, I'm going to use my Firebird. Seems like a pretty high gain guitar, high gain friendly guitar. Straight into the pedal and then into my simplifier, which is on a Fender setting. Like and subscribe. Let's get into the playthrough. Hey folks, once again, we are back. I've got the Digitech Grunge here set up. Why don't I turn it off real quick? Something to note there, you've really got to step on it to to get it to turn on and off. I'm using my Firebird into the simplifier. It's on a Fender setting. Here's my clean tone. I'm just going to turn that up a little bit. I'm on the neck pickup on my Firebird. Yeah. And the tone knob is maxed. All right, so let's turn this on. I'm going to turn the guitar down a little bit, okay? Then we'll go up to a suitable volume. There we go. Now to give a little bit of context, the loud, as you can see, it's just shy of 12 o'clock. And my guitar, the volume on my neck pickup is right around 5. To about 7 or 8. That's actually a lot of fun. Okay. All right, so the loud button or the loud knob that clearly just turns it's the volume knob. There, just turn it down. It's quieter. Turn it up. Pretty self-explanatory. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to turn it down a little bit, and I'm going to turn the guitar up. So note to self, and for anyone watching, the volume pot on this pedal, pretty sensitive. All right, so the low and the high is clearly going to adjust the lows and the highs, and the grunge, clearly, that's essentially the drive knob. So let's completely max this sucker out and see how sludgy this thing can get. Okay, that was a lot of fun. It's pretty sludgy, though. That is pretty almost fuzzy. You know what, let's just see how sludgy I can make this. I'm going to like max out the lows on this and turn down the highs. So I mean, this should be... I'm not a fan. Let's turn the highs up a little bit. Okay, it really doesn't like having the low tone pod maxed out. We've seen what it can do on a high drive setting, and I mean, to be clear, this pedal is a high gain pedal. Okay, I don't usually go for high gain pedals. That is just me. It just doesn't usually fit in my style of music. That said, it does have a good sound. But like as you can see, I've turned the grunge, the drive down a little bit. let's go to the treble pickup here. All right, not awful. Bridge pickup. I'm gonna turn down my tone knob just a little bit. I'm gonna turn the grunge knob down a little bit more too. I'm gonna turn it to probably right around 9 o'clock. Okay, a little less than 9 o'clock, but here you go. Alright, sounds like a pretty typical distortion pedal, really. I mean, look, I don't play a whole lot of grunge. It's just never really been my genre, but you know. That's about the extent of my grunge playing. I mean, it does the trick. Sounds like a crunchy overdrive or distortion pedal. Yeah, okay. Just some old school rock tones right there. Okay, so I think I've given this thing a good run for its money. I'll be right back with my final thoughts on the Digitech Grunge pedal in just a second. See you soon. Okay, so what do I think of this? For a high gain pedal, okay, again, keep in mind, not usually my cup of tea. I like this one. It's not bad. I like the fact that you can turn it down and it's still usable. And even like with the grunge, which is essentially just the drive setting, if you max it out, it's still a usable sound. That said, and you probably notice this from the demos, okay, you really got to be careful with these two, the low and the highs. It did not like having either one really maxed out. So keep that in mind. But I mean, I got some really usable sounds, and I also think, I mean, I was going to say that they do themselves a disservice, but I mean, they've sold tons of these things, so clearly they did something right. So I mean, what do I know? But I do think labeling this as a grunge pedal is kind of doing it a disservice, because I really do think you could do a lot more than just grunge music or like harder rock, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm actually pretty impressed. And these are not terribly expensive. They're not stupidly expensive at all. And I mean, they're pretty easy to find. Heck, a lot of you have probably seen one of these. I'm probably a little late to the game doing this video, because I'm sure there's tons of stuff on YouTube about the Digitech Grunge. But figured I'd add my 2 cents. All right, so that's the Digitech Grunge. Oh, that's one thing I will mention. And this is just a personal thing. I'm not a fan of that for some reason. I mean, at the same time, I'm going to sound a little hypocritical because I do love the Boss Blues driver, which has a similar button mechanism. Okay, but I don't know. I just don't like Digitech's version of it for some reason. Maybe that's weird. I don't know. But anyway, Digitech Grunge. I'm Sandy from Sandy's Guitars. Please, I'm on all the social medias. Please like and subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Take care.